in the last video, we completed our middleware setup. Now, what we will do next? So here we defined the get decorator that we were using here, right? Now let us define other decorators. What are the other decorators? The post, put, delete, patch, those kind of things, right? Now, say for example, if I have to create a decorator for post, if you can think, everything else will remain the same except for this method name, right? So if I can get this method name dynamically from a function parameter, then I don't have to repeat this function each for the other methods, right? Get, post, put, and delete, right? So what I can do is I can write a helper function. Okay, I will call it as function. Okay, create http route, create http route decorator. Okay, and it can take the method name as a string. Okay, and what this will return? This will return me this particular function. Okay, so I will cut and I will paste, and instead of export I will say return. Okay, and I can mark this as anonymous function, right? And here instead of this get, okay, what I can use the method name, right? And then what this function will return, see this function, okay, this will return say get as a decorator. Okay, so create http route, okay, and this will be get, right? And what I can do, okay, this get should be capital. Okay, and I can say export const get equals to create http route decorator, and I'll pass get. Okay, so I will copy this many times, not many times, 4 or 5 times, right? So it will be get, okay, post, and this will be put, and I can also add patch. Okay, and I can also add delete, right? And here also I will respectively change, right? Okay, now this get decorator, post decorator, everything we have created, right? So now let us add it to our function. I will paste it here, right? Okay, now what I'm doing here, just simple message blocks. Okay, as of now we are not dealing with the exact CRUD operations that I'll show you later, but for now we're just trying to stitch everything together, right? So now if I say quick fix update, okay, so it will update the import, and here also and here also, right? Now if we go to our postman and say for example, let us come to create book. Okay, if I send a request, see what I'm getting, message book created, right? How easy it is now. So now if I come to delete, you will see book deleted, right? And if I come to put method, what will happen? So if you see, we are getting error here. And why is that? Because this put method is also taking a param value, right? Are we passing the param? No, right? So you have to pass the param, and now if I send the request, see, it will work, right? So what we have done, we have added all the http verbs, and based on that http verb we are able to route it properly to the proper handler function, right? See now how easy it has become. All you have to do is write the method and add the proper decorator. Perfect. Now let us go to the next step. Now what is the next step? If you see here, we are setting res.status 201, res.status 200, and JSON book, right? Again res.status 200, okay, res.status 201, and the JSON value, right? If you see, we are repeating this everywhere. Okay, what if, okay, what if instead of dealing with this response, okay, if I can simply return the books, okay, if I can simply, okay, return this book of ID, okay, see, wouldn't this be easy for the developer, okay, just to return the value or maybe throw an exception, right? Instead of us dealing with the response.json. Okay, but how we will handle, that is the question. Let us see. For that we have to come back to our app, okay, and let me comment out everything. And what I want to show is only this one method, okay, and now this is giving quickly. Okay, so let us bring everything back. Okay, this is just to show you the example. Okay, so now if we see, server is running. Okay, and what method we added? We introduce back the get all books, right? So if I come and get all books, okay, it is stuck, right? Why it is stuck? Because here we are not returning proper value. Okay, so for now let me return the proper value. Okay, rest.status 200 and JSON, okay, books, and I will come here and I will rerun this one. So we are getting our value back. Now what is the point of writing, okay, this line? Okay, and why did I comment out everything? Okay, now this is to show you one particular pattern. Okay, so what is this? This is a handler function, right? And what is the definition of this handler function? It takes a request and response, right? Here we are giving this as the function. Okay, now, okay, can I write in this function, okay, in a different way? Okay, what do I mean by this? So instead of simply attaching this function definition, okay, can I write it like this? Okay, request and response, and then this will become an arrow function. Okay, and we will pass this request and response, right? This is the same thing. I'm just explicitly passing the parameters and I'm taking the parameters from here, right? And this can be of type request, right? And this has to be of type response, right? And what I have to do, I have to import it here, right, on the express. So request and response, right? Now can I do it like this? Okay, I will add it to the next line. Okay, and I can say, okay, const result and res dot status of 200 and JSON of result. See, this is valid, right? And can I wrap it in try catch? Okay, so I will cut, okay, paste, and in the catch block I can say res dot status of say 500, and I can say JSON, I can say message, and just a simple message. Okay, something went wrong, and I'll show you how to properly handle this one, right? So now here what I have done, I have changed this rest.status.json from the handler to our main app logic, right? So now all I have to do here is return, okay, books. I don't have to deal with rest.status.json everywhere, right? Now this is handled in a central location. So now if I come here and send the request, okay, this will still work. Obviously this will work, right? Now can I implement the same logic here on the controller? See, this I just gave example for one route, right? We are not going to use this anyway. Okay, so what I will do, I'll uncomment, okay, my controller handler, okay, and here these are the middleware function, okay, and from here I should be able to modify my handler, right? So here what I can do, I can pass request of type request and response of type response, okay, and then this will be a function, and I will cut it and I will paste it, okay, and I can say const result equals to instance, and instead of this bind, now what I can do, I can say request and response, right? And I can say return res dot status of 200, okay, and JSON of result, and I should wrap it in try catch, right? So I will cut this, paste it here, okay, and I will borrow this line and paste it here, right? Now I don't have to use the rest.status, right? All I have to do is just return the message, as simple as that. Okay, great. So now let us check our terminal. Everything is working. So now I will come here, send a request. This is working. Now also I'll come here, send a request. This is also working, right? Now if you come to create a book and if I send a request, see here I'm getting 201. Okay, just keep this in mind. Now I will change this, okay, and I will simply say return, okay, and I'll return this message. Now when I return this message, I'm getting the proper value, but this status is lost. Okay, so what can we do about this? Let us write a helper function, okay, in our core in util. Okay, let me write a new file and I will call it as helpers.ts, okay, and here I will say export, okay, response status code by method type, okay, and I should use a const keyword here, right? Okay, so for get, what should be the status? 200, right? For post, okay, what should be the status? 201, okay, and similarly for put, okay, what should be the status? 200. Let us keep it 200, right? For whatever reason, if you want to change, you can change it here. And for delete, what should be the status? 204, content not found, okay. So this is based on the REST convention, okay, REST API convention, okay. So now I will come here, okay, and instead of saying 200, okay, what I can do, I can say const status code equals to response status code. I'll just copy it, okay, pass it here, right? This is giving quickly, so we will fix it, okay. And from here, which value we have to get? We have to get the value of route dot method. So this is a object, the key are the method, right? So from where we'll get the method? From route dot method. Now I will use this instead of the status code, right? Now if I come here, okay, if you see server is running, okay, now very interesting, we will come here, and if you see 201 created, right? Now if you come to delete, we are still getting 201, right? Why is that the case? Because here, okay, we are actually hard coded this return value, right? So what we should do instead, I should copy, okay, and paste, and I should take this message, right, paste it here and remove this, okay. The same thing I can do here. I can say return, okay, book deleted. Now if I come here, see 204, no content. Here also 201, right? Based on this, you can customize in whatever way you want, right? So what we have essentially done, we have taken the responsibility of res.status.json from our handler to our centralized app logic, right? So this is perfect. Now let us do error handling. Okay, we have added this try catch here, right? Now say for example this update book, okay, I want to check if the ID that we are getting, that ID exists or not, right? So here what we have to do, we have to get the ID, right? If, okay, this book ID is greater than books dot length, okay, what we should do, we should throw some error, okay, we should throw some error, throw new error, right? Okay, I can throw this error, but let us introduce different error classes for our framework. So what advantage we will get? We can say throw new, okay, not found error, right? So this will help me in writing better code that is easily understandable. And here I can add different types of log specific to that particular type of error that will help me in debugging, right? Now how to write this error class, right? So for that, inside the core, because this is going to be part of our core framework, okay, here I will add a new folder and I will call it as classes, okay, all the different class that I will be storing here, okay. Here new file, and I can say not found error.ts, or you can say not found .error.ts, right? I leave that convention to you, okay. So I can say export class not found error, and most importantly it will extend from the error class, okay. Then here I can say public status of type number, okay, and public message of type string, okay, and I'll call the constructor, and this will take the message, right, of type string, right. So if you see, we have to pass a message, right? So say for example book not found, whatever message, right? So I will come here, okay, and I will call super, that will call the parent error class, and it will pass the message, okay, and this dot status equals to 404. Why 404? Because this is the not found class, right? And this dot message equals to the message or the generic message, okay, resource not found, okay, and this message I can mark it as optional, right? And what I have to do here, I have to import it, right? So book not found, okay. Now when you come to our app here, what we can do, we can add different type of handling for each error case, okay. What do I mean by that? So here I can check, okay, if error instance of, okay, not found error, then can do something here, okay, particular way of handling not found error. So maybe later in your framework you can add unauthorized exception, unauthorized error, right? Based on that, you can do some error message or error handling, right? Or some log. So that for now, I'm not showing it here. For now, I'm just showing the example of not found error. Okay. So I can say return, okay, rest dot status, okay, of error dot status, okay, and JSON of error dot message. So anytime a not found exception happens, this will return. Okay. For any other type of exception, this 500 will be returned, right? Later, you can add, else if, okay, else if, error instance of unauthorized error instance, right? So you can then handle it in some particular way, right? So I will save it and I will check the terminal. Okay, it is running. Then I will come to, say for example, update book. Why update book? Because on this update book I have added this error handling, right? So I will come here, update book, and I will send a book of id 10. Okay, what will happen when I send id 10? See, books has think only 5 index, right? So when I try to get the 10th index, what should happen? See, not found, 404 not found, right? So this is how you can do error handling. So now we will conclude this video here. Our framework is in a very good state, and in the next video we will enhance our framework even further. So if you like this video so far, give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, because this is the kind of content I bring on this channel on a regular basis. And I'll see you in the next video.